Well, hello, Gary Williams again here, reaching out and talking to friends in the creative industries to see how we're all coping with this virus, with this situation, and hopefully to see if we can find something good to come out of it. And the fellow that's waiting patiently there is Hector Ruiz, my great friend and the magician. You're in Spain, I think, Hector, right?
I am. I am in Sevilla, in the south of Spain,
Beautiful Sevilla.
which I guess is beautiful outside.
So what's lockdown like in Sevilla? Is it kind of hardcore? Because Spain is really struggling right now, right?
Yeah, Spain is going through a rough time right now. To be honest, I try not to watch the news so much or read the newspaper so much because I feel safer and healthier that way for some reason. I just go through the main news, like if we have to stay here longer or some things are. But I prefer to be a little bit of outside of that world.
I agree with you. I think it's for me, it's try to get that balance between being informed. You want to know what's going on, but you don't want to kind of wallow in it because it's just bad.
Right.
It's just so awful what's going on. You just get a diet of that I mean, we were waking up in the morning, we were putting on the TV news and getting like maybe half an hour of this awful stuff. And it's the most awful way to start the day. You just don't need it, right? You need to know what's
Right.
going on, and that's it.
Watching a lot of comedies, reading comedy, and like try to be happy and energetic all the time. Otherwise, we go like.
Yeah. Are you finding ways of using your time productively for like work, or are you just, giving your Netflix account some hammer?
Well, I'm not so much of a TV guy, so I don't watch much TV. Maybe after dinner a little bit and all that. But to be honest, I've been very lazy at the beginning, like kind of lost because it was a big hit having all the contracts canceled and all that. But a couple of days ago, I started realizing that it would be very sad if I come out of all this lockdown without anything new. So I'm using this time. I have a few dates for next year, and it makes me feel happy and like it makes me feel that everything is going on and everything is gonna be okay. So today I planned the calendar like nicely as I do with every year. So seeing that made me feel safer. I started working on new acts that I've been wanting to work on for a long time. So now I'm working on them. I'm reading a lot of magic and watching magic videos and things like that. And I try to get my mind occupied and busy and try to create new things and all that. Otherwise, I'm going to drive myself crazy.
And you have another business as well as your performance, your stage shows. Can we talk about Mr. Hocus?
Yes. So I have a brand of um, t-shirts and sweatshirts and hats for magicians.
I should be wearing one, but I'm not a magician, so I don't need
I should be wearing one. I am the one that
You
should be wearing one.
I thought you would be wearing the cap and have everything.
The whole thing, right? Yeah, so mrhocus.com, probably with your accent, it sounds better. And yeah, so I'm working on that business. I have another business that I opened at the end of February and we had to close, which
You mean
is,
you opened the business just before lockdown?
yeah.
And
Yeah,
was
it
this a
was
business
very,
that involved people gathering?
yeah. So it was very convenient. I spent a lot of money on opening a new business that I just had to close like a week and a half after we opened.
What was the business? Can you tell us?
Yeah, it's a personal training center.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
that's not a good business to open
So,
just before lockdown.
so now we are training people. Well, I'm not the trainer. I just opened the business, but we are training people online now and doing like this live on Instagram, free trainings for everybody.
How do people
And
find that? Because that's really helpful now.
yeah. So, because I
Where?
think it's very well. I think it's obvious that it's very, very important now to stay active now that we are locked down, and so we thought that it would be a very good idea to keep people busy.
But
So
how
we
can
plan.
people find this online? How can that, is it, what's the, what do we search for?
Well, on Instagram you can find star
Hmm.
10 Sevilla, which is our city.
10 is the
Star
number or TEN?
is a number, yeah. On Instagram, star 10 Sevilla, and Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays we are doing trainings at 6 p.m. And Saturdays we're doing like chats about our emotions and how we're feeling and how to treat them with auto massages and things like that. Very interesting. So we are keeping our clientele busy and active, and yeah, and everybody who wants to join in, it doesn't have to be part of our clientele.
That's nice. Yeah, I've never been one. I'm a person who lacks physical coordination, and I've never.
Of course, you don't.
And I've never been one for like aerobic stuff, but I do every day like a 30-minute aerobic thing. I still lack all coordination, but I'm very sweaty when I finished it, so I've done something. And I'm also I've found one online that doesn't involve like running and like banging on the floor, because we're in an apartment building here, and I'm really conscious of like goo 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 for the poor people that live below us. So it's this very soft thing. But building that into, I mean, for me, because actually I don't know about for you, but we both spend a lot of time on cruise ships where we have time free. We have sometimes we have a lot of, we go on, we may be on for 4, 5, 6 days. We do our show. We've got a lot of time off. Sometimes we don't know anybody. Sometimes there's nobody to hang out with. So I don't know about you, but I've found over the years that I've become quite good at occupying myself and sort of organizing my time. So in a way, this time in lockdown, I feel like I've kind of already got a skill set for dealing with that, right? Do you know what I mean?
Totally agree. I totally agree. The only thing that was hard at the beginning was coming over that sad feeling of uncertainty. Is that the word?
Of what?
Like not uncertainty.
Oh, uncertainty. Yeah, uncertainty.
Yeah, sorry. Not knowing what's gonna happen, right? Because from one day to another, everything gets canceled.
Yeah.
And you have we don't have any idea, or at least I don't have any idea of when I'm gonna have my next show. So those few days at the beginning of that horrible feeling of like, what's going on now? What's gonna happen? I had all my year planned, and suddenly that doesn't matter anymore. And all that sad feeling was hard to overcome. Once I did, and I tried to not to think about that as much. And obviously you have to be responsible and still plan and see all the possible scenarios and all that. And you have to be a professional and responsible and all that. But once you do that, just have fun, try to keep yourself busy and creative, and try to improve your show, or at least that's what I'm trying to improve my shows and putting new beats here and there and changing little things, and that makes me happy.
Do you find that, I mean, do you have like kind of a timetable for the day or for the week, or do you have kind of things which you want to just, not a timetable, but things you want to try and do each day, or do you just take each day as it comes?
I try to have a little bit of a schedule. So I woke up early because my girlfriend, she's a teacher at the university, and she's working from home. So we have to wake up early.
Which is great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, very lucky. So she goes to our office at home and start working there. So once she's working there, I start working first. I work on social media and all these online things with all these businesses that I have to work on, and videos and pictures and editing and all that. At noon, I stop and I do some exercises. I have a couple of videos that I do every day. Then I start preparing lunch. On the afternoon, after like we relax a little bit after lunch, I start working on shows and ideas and like working on magic. I do it on the afternoon. I don't feel okay doing it in the morning. Sometimes I stay until late at night, sorry. And then in the evening, I prefer to just relax when I finish doing those things, and I start preparing dinner, and then we talk about how the day was, and so I try to have a structure every day.
Yeah, I was just talking to another friend. I do the same thing. We're also trying to put some thought into doing things on weekends, which are different to what we do the other 5 days of the week, right?
That's very interesting. Because the other day, Celia, which is my girlfriend, she was like, okay, so on Saturday, we're going to do this and we're going to prepare this kind of lunch. And I was like, every day is Saturday. She was like, no. Weekends are weekends. So Saturday, I'm not going to work on the evening. I'm not, so she was treating in a different way. And I was like, oh, that's very clever.
I think it's smart, yeah. Because otherwise, every day it just becomes this long thing, even though each day I'm finding that each day is great and I'm being productive and I feel good. But then I start to get, I don't know, I feel uncomfortable, or I feel, if I feel down, it's because like every day is the same. And I was thinking I need to break up the weeks a little bit, because this could go on for months, right? So you kind of need markers, I think, you know, to break up the routine a little bit.
Can I ask you how you deal with this feeling of not knowing what's going to happen?
Well, I've honestly, Hector, I think I'm kind of resigned to it. I don't think a lot. I really struggled with that in the beginning, because, like you say, it's like the rug has just been pulled from under you, right? You have your whole year planned, and also, you know, the money. I mean, originally I was more worried about money than health, because originally I was thinking, oh, you know, I'm young. I'm not young, but I still think I'm young. Oh, I'm young. I'm not going to get it, you know, and even if I get it, I'll be fine anyway. But I'd lost. You know, we're in the middle of trying to buy a house here. Like, right, we just put the deposit down on the property, and then this thing has happened. So that's like, everything's suddenly in disarray. And yeah, I was worrying about money. I've gotten used to that now. You know, I've had time to look at our money and think, okay, if we're careful, you know, we can only last so long, but I think we'll be okay. Now I'm worrying more about the health effects on my parents, who are older, obviously, and are more vulnerable to this kind of thing. So, and also just, I think I'm worrying more about, I don't know, just like the health situation, and the awful, I mean, maybe I am watching too much news, but when you see these stories of what's going on in Spain and in Italy, and how, you know, it is alarming. So I think I worry more about that than the uncertainty. But what you said about, you've got a couple of cruises, I guess, or some things kind of in the diary for next year. Some friends of ours who work on ships, Duo Ascensius, a great act, you know, this would have been a busy time for them. So it's not like, I don't know about for you, but they didn't get one email saying all these cruises are cancelled, because we don't know how long it's going to go on. So, you know, they get an email, and I get one, you know, saying, oh, these are cancelled. Okay. And then a week later, oh, this one's cancelled. So they're getting all these emails, as we all are, saying it's cancelled, it's cancelled, it's cancelled. But they had an email last week saying, with some cruise offers for next year. And I know it's like a year away, but that was so, that made me so happy, and them so happy as well, because it makes you realize that it's not going to go on forever. Exactly. And that, you know, this is a temporary, awful, but temporary situation. And I'm also, again, spending time on ships, the number of times I've gone on a ship thinking, oh, I've got to have all this spare time, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then I get off the ship and I think, oh, I didn't do any of that. And I'm frustrated with myself. The time just went by. So I'm actually really determined to make the best of this situation, and to really use the time to genuinely do stuff that I've been wanting to do for ages and never. Like, one thing is, which I've wanted to do for literally years, is go through my whole address book, which has got thousands of contacts in, because it's never been, you know, it's just grown over decades. And there's half the people in there, they don't even need them there now. You know, the old contracts from jobs, the places that don't even exist anymore. Oh, maybe in there's friends which I haven't spoken to for years, but now is a great opportunity to reconnect with friends and people that, you know, used to be in our lives, and you just kind of drift apart, but for no other reason, that you just kind of, life takes over. So I think there are really great opportunities at this time to be had, if we can stay healthy in our minds, to take advantage of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. We are also reconnecting with people that we didn't talk for a long time for no reason, as you said, and we just video call every day a few people, and, you know, I am really not feeling that I'm locked down. Like, every day goes by and I'm doing things, talking to people. Like, luckily we have a little area here that we can go outside and get some sun.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's yeah. So I don't know. I'm okay. I'm not actually feeling bad for staying at home. Yeah. Once I don't think about the jobs.
Yeah. Exactly. Wow. Exactly. So if people want to find you and see examples of why you're so amazing, why you had all this work that was cancelled, How can we find you online?
So you can find me on social media. I don't use Facebook that much, but you can find me on Instagram, which is Hector Ruiz Show. Hector.
I'm gonna type that on that'll be on the bottom of the screen.
That's gonna be very
It's not there now,
because
but
I can make it
post
harder.
it'll go on.
At some point. And then the website is hectorruiz.show. It's not .com or anything, .show.
It is always great talking to you. You always have such positive energy, great vibes. I love it.
Likewise, my friend.
Thank you for taking the time, Hector, because I know how busy you are.
Stay healthy, stay home, stay as crazy as you are.
Yeah. Bye, man.
Love you. Ciao.